time on the Laughing Goblins, we went over cantos 3 and 4. So welcome back. This is Holly.
And Bonbon.
On this show, we roast for literature, mythology, and cover other topics. We'll probably also get into our special interests because, as previously stated, we have ADHD and we cannot be stopped. Our afraid count from last time is 6 counts of afraidness, 1 count of fainting. And we start here on Canto 5, where we previously left Dante surrounded by his idols, a whole bunch of poets he's stuck in limbo.
Well, not just poets, but the Queen of the Amazon, too, remember?
No, I did not. I did not remember that.
And other people that I had to read.
Well, we're finally leaving limbo, and we're heading into the second circle of hell. This way I went, descending from the first into the second round that holds less space, but much more pain, stinging the soul to wailing. There stands Minos grotesquely, and he snarls, examining the guilty at the entrance. He judges and dispatches, tail and coils. By this I mean that when the evil soul appears before him, it confesses all, and he, who is the expert judge of sins, knows to what place in hell the souls belong. The way he wraps his tail around himself tells just how far the sinner must go down. The damned keep crowding up in front of him. They pass along to judgment one by one. They speak, they hear, and then are hurled below. "Oh, you who come to the place where pain is host," Minos spoke out when he first caught sodomy, putting aside the duties of his office. "Be careful how you enter and whom you trust. It's easy to get in, but don't be fooled." And my guide said to him, "Why keep on shouting? Do not attempt to stop his fated journey. It is so willed there where the power is for what is willed. That's all you need to know." And now the notes of anguish start to play upon my ears. And now I find myself where sounds on sounds of weeping pound at me. I come to a place where no light shone at all, bellowing like the sea racked by a tempest when warring winds attack it from both sides. Okay, question. If it's dark, how is he seeing anything? If there's no light, how is he able to provide visuals, which we're about to get into? Dante, wake up from death. We have many questions.
No questions will be answered by Dante, including the fact there's no light.
I guess Virgil is like a flashlight of some sort. I don't know.
He glows. He's a shade. He's a soul of another land, so he glows in the dark. Whee!
What is he? Glowworm? A firefly?
Yes.
10,000 fireflies make up Virgil. That's what the song Fireflies is about.
Oh, that's what it's about.
10 million fireflies.
No. And I love how Virgil's like, "You, shut up!
Shut the hell up!" Okay, enough of our nonsense.
The internal storm, external in its rage, sweeps and drives the spirits with its blasts. It whirls them, lashing them with punishment. When they are swept back past their place of judgment, then come the shrieks, laments, and anguish cries. There they blaspheme God's almighty power. I learn that to this place of punishment, all those who sin in lust have been condemned. Those who make reason slave to appetite. The wings of starlings in the winter bear them along in widespread crowded flocks. So does that wind proper the evil spirits. Now here, then and there, and up and down it drives them with never any hope to comfort them. Hope not of rest, but even of suffering less. He decided to rhyme there. Wonderful. And he remembered it was a poem.
Fantastic.
I'm just saying. And just like cranes in flight, chanting their lays, stretching an endless line in their formation, I saw approaching, crying their laments, spirits carried along by battling winds. And so I asked, Teacher, tell me, what souls are these punishing the sweep of the black wind? The first of those whose story you should know, my master wasted no time answering, was Empress over lands of many tongues. Her vicious tastes had so corrupted her, she licensed every form of lust, with laws to cleanse the strain of scandal she had spread.
Ooh, spreading scandal. How scandalous.
And lust. Don't forget the lust
Yes,
spreading.
scandal lust. Horrible. Horrible pun.
No. Bad. That's spray bottle for you.
No. Don't like that. Okay. What is this lady? She is Semiramis, who, legend says, was Ninus's wife, as well as his successor. She governed all the land the Sultan rules. The next is she who killed herself for love, and broke faith with the ashes of Sychaeus. And there is Cleopatra, who loved men's lusting. See Helen there, the root of evil woe, lasting long years. Okay, hang on.
Cleopatra and Helen are both here. Hi.
In the original mythos of Helen of Troy, it's pretty fucking clear that Helen didn't really have a choice in the matter. Paris gave an apple to Aphrodite, and Aphrodite promised him the love of the most beautiful woman in the world, and that just happened to be Helen. That wasn't Helen's fault. Some goddess was like, you know what? You can have that lady.
The Catholic Church raising its ugly head in every misogynistic terms.
Okay, so poor Helen. She doesn't probably deserve to be down there. Now,
I mean, Cleopatra doesn't even believe in the Inferno.
Yes, I don't know.
But she's not innocent, folks, so she had to go to this circle. Hi.
And who else is there? See the great Achilles, who lost his life to love in final combat. See Paris. There he is. There's the sucker.
Fuck you! So his father is in the other part of hell, and he's here. Hi.
Tristan. Then more than 1,000 he pointed out to me, and named them all, those shades whom love cut off from life on earth. And I heard my teacher called the names of all those knights and ladies of ancient times. Pity confused my senses, and I was dazed. I began, Poet, I would like, with all my heart, to speak to those two there who moved together and seemed to be so light upon the wind. And you'll see when they are closest to us. If you entreat them by that love of theirs that carries them along, they'll come to you. When the winds bent their course in our direction, I raised my voice to them. Oh, wearied souls, come speak with us if it is not forbidden. As doves, called by desire to return to their sweet nest, with wings raised high in poi, float downward through the wind, guided by will. So these two left the flock where Dido is, and came towards us through the malignant air. Such was the tender power of my call. So, Dante, able to summon other ghosts at will. What is he? A portable Ouija board of ancient Italian stripe?
Yeah, I think so. teacher, gracious and so kind, who makes your way here through this dingy air to visit us, who stained the world with blood. If we could claim as friend the King of Kings, we would beseech him that we grant you peace. You who show pity for our atrocious plight, whatever pleases you to hear or speak, we will hear and we will speak about with you. As long as the wind here where we are is silent. So as long as the wind is silent, we'll talk forever.
But isn't there an ongoing tornado of thousands of souls just in the background?
I think so.
There's
Dante is not logical. Remember,
somebody pressed the mute button on Gale Force Wind. They're still spinning. They're silent. They're silently spinning.
the place where I was born lies on the shore, where the river Po, with its attendant streams, descends to seek its final resting place. Love, quick to kindle in the gentle heart, sees this one for the beauty of my body. Torn from me, how it happened still offends me. Love excuses no one love from loving, sees me so strongly with delight in him that, as you see, he never leaves my side. Love led us straight to sudden death together. Kinda awaits the one who quench our lives. These were the words that came from them to us. When those offended souls had told their story, I bowed my head and kept it bowed until the poet said, "What are you thinking of?" When I finally spoke, I sighed, "Alas, all those sweet thoughts, and oh, how much desiring brought these two down into this agony." And then I turned to them and tried to speak. I said, "Francesca, the torment that you suffer brings painful tears of pity to my eyes."
Oh, such a sad boy.
So sad.
So hard to want things. But tell me, in that time of your sweet sighing, how and by what signs did love allow you to recognize your dubious desires? And she to me, there is no greater pain than to remember, in our present grief, past happiness, as your teacher knows. But if your great desire is to learn the very root of such a love as ours, I shall tell you but in words of flowing tears. One day we read, to pass the time away, of Lancelot, of how he fell in love. We were alone, innocent of suspicion. Time and again our eyes were brought together by the book we read, our faces flushed and paled. To the moment of one line alone we yielded. It was when we read about those longed-for lips now being kissed by such a famous lover, that this one, who shall never leave my side, then kissed my mouth and trembled as he did. Our Galahad was that book, and he who wrote it. That day we read no further, and all the while the one of the two spirits spoke these words, the other wept, in such a way that pity blurred my senses. I swooned as though to die, and fell to hell's floor as a body dead falls.
The faint count goes up.
So one of the reasons Dante faints as often as he does, as far as we can tell, is to use for transitions. He will probably often faint at the end of a canto and then wake up in a different part of hell. And how Virgil, an incorporeal spirit, quite gets him to hell is unclear, but I guess he has magical powers.
He glows and he can transport people. Of course he has magical powers. And so we go to Canto 6, where we leave the circle of lust and we enter the circle of gluttony. High. Circle 3.
Circle 3. Circle 3. So many circles, and we're only on 3. How many circles are there? We don't know. We do not care.
We do know, actually.
Shh.
We read this before.
Listen, I was going for a rhyming scheme. Something this poet does not bother to do.
Hey, he did do it in the last canto.
One time he has rhymed. Okay, to be fair though, it is not that kind of poem.
And he also made an allegory to both canes and starlings, who are birds.
What does that have to do with the rhyme scheme?
Nothing. But it's a poet metaphor being used, right?
Oh, this episode is not going to be well.
Better than the last one.
Yes.
Regaining now my senses, which had tamed at the sight of these two who were kinsmen lovers, the piteous sight confusing me to tears, new suffering and new sinners suffering. Here I'm suffering with suffering.
I suffered for the suffering, I guess. I don't know.
Appeared to me no matter where I move, or turn my eyes no matter where I gaze. I am in the third circle, in the round of Ram, eternal curse, cold and falling heavy, unchanging beat, unchanging quantity, thick hail and dirty water mixed with snow come down in torrents through the murky air, and the earth is sinking from this soaking rain. Cerberus, a ruthless and fantastic beast, with all three throats, howls out his dog-like sounds above the drowning sinners of this place. His eyes are red, his beard is slobbered black, his belly swollen, and he has claws for hands.
Insert little crap here. Claws, claws, claws.
He rips the spirits, flays and mangles them. Under the rain they howl like dogs, lying now on one side with the other as a screen, now on the other turning, these wretched sinners.
So, this creature is just kind of tearing meat off of them like they're a rotisserie chicken?
Pretty much. Yeah, mangled and flame.
Flame-broiled rotisserie chicken.
Pretty much. When the slimy Cerberus caught sight of us, he opened up his mouth and showed his fangs. His body was one mass of twitching muscles. My master stooped and, spreading wide his fingers, he grabbed up heaping fistfuls of the mud and flung it down into those greedy gullets as a howling cur, hungering to get fed, quiets down with the first mouthful of his food, busy with eating, wrestling with that alone.
So it was with all three filthy heads of the demon Cerberus, used to barking thunder on these dead souls who wished that they were deaf. Why does Cerberus have to be dirty? Again with the disrespect to the Greeks.
He's also very hungry and has red eyes and slobbering all the time.
I mean, he is a dog. I'll allow for the slobber, but this is a mythological creature named Spot.
And his name is a demon. He's a demon dog, apparently.
We walked across this march of shades beaten down by the heavy rain, our feet pressing on their emptiness that looked like human form. Each sinner there was stretched out on the ground, except for one who quickly sat up the moment he saw us pass by. "Oh, you there, being led through this inferno," he said. "Try to remember who I am, for you had life before I gave up mine." I said, "The pain you suffer here perhaps disfigures you beyond all recognition. I can't remember seeing you before. But tell me, who are you, assigned to grieve in this sad place, afflicted by such torture, that, Worse there well may be, but none more foul. Your own city, he said, so filled with envy, its cup already overflows the brim, once held me in the brightest life above. Your citizens gave me the name of Chaco, and for my sin of gluttony I am damned, as you see, to reign that beats me weak. And my sad, shrunken soul is not alone, for all these sinners here share in my pain and in my sin. And that was his last word.
Taco, I said to him, your grievous state weighs down on me. It makes me want to weep, but tell me what will happen if you know to the citizens of that divided state, and are there any honest men among them? And tell me, why is it so plagued with strife? And he replied, after much contention they will come to bloodshed. The Russell party will drive the other out by brutal means. Then it will come to pass, this side will fall within 3 suns, and the other rise to power, with the help of one now listing towards both sides. For a long time they will keep their heads raised high, holding the others down with crushing weight, no matter how these weep or squirm for shame. 2 just men there are, but no one listens, for pride, envy, avarice are the 3 sparks that kindle in men's hearts and set them burning. With this, his mournful words came to an end, but I spoke back. There's more I want to know. I beg you to provide me with more facts.
The facts are these. No? We've lost Bon. We've lost Bon to the facts. Wait. Where are we? Okay. Farinata and Tegayo, who were so worthy. Jacopo Rusticucci? Okay, I see the pause now. Arrigo, Mosca,
We lost
and
all
all
to
the
the facts too.
Hey, let me finish this dang sentence. And all the rest so bent on doing good. Where are they? Tell me what's become of them. One great desire torments me to know whether they taste heaven's sweetness or hell's gall. They lie below with blacker souls, he said. Oh, goody, we get to read these names again. By different sins pushed down to different depths. If you keep going, you may see them all. But when you are once more in that sweet world, I beg you to remind our friends of me. I speak no more, nor more I answer you. He twisted his straight gaze into a squint, and stared a while at me, then bent his head, falling to join his other sightless peers. My guide then said to me, he'll wake no more until the day the angel's trumpet blows, when the unfriendly judge shall come down here. Each soul shall find again his wretched tomb, assume his flesh, and take his human shape, and hear his fate resound eternally. And so we made our way through the filthy mess of muddy shades and slush, moving slowly, talking a little about the afterlife.
I said, Master, with these torments be increased or lessened on the final judgment day, or will the pain be just the same as us now? And he, remember your philosophy. The closer a thing comes to its perfection, the more keen will be its pleasure or its pain. Although this cursed race of punished souls shall never know the joy of true perfection, more perfect will their pain be then than now. We circled around that curving road while talking of more than I shall mention at this time. And came to where the ledge begins descending. There we found Putus, mankind's archenemy.
Are we sure it's Putus and not POTUS? Because given what we're heading towards this election season.
Says Putus.
Okay, I'm sorry. We shouldn't talk politics.
No. Avoid
Dante does enough of that.
He does. I love how he's just like, I don't stop talking about what we men talking about forever on this road.
I do want to note that this road is curvy.
Yes, it's a curve
It's a
road
windy, fleshy roll.
that goes down.
We are not going to sing the Agatha song. We are not going to sing the Agatha song. We are not. Okay, we're brave, we're strong, we made it through this. Let's move on.
And that is the end of Canto 6. The next canto shall be 7, which we shall not read.
At this time and place.
Yes.
So we only added one count of faintness this time around. Afraid count's still at 6. Again, he knew this man that he has thrown in hell.
I also think he knew the couple, too, from Lust.
Did he? Yeah, I will admit, that didn't sound too bad. I mean, they're reading a book to each other and then they kiss, and now they're subjected to being twirled around like a fork in the sink disposal. Ding, 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 ding.
I wouldn't want to be in a sink disposal, but you do you, friend. You do you.
You don't remember that vine? Let's be a fork in the garbage disposal. Ding, 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 ding. Don't you know, Bon Bon looks very unamused.
Yes. Not amused.
Francesca, daughter of Guido Vecchia da Polenta, Lord of Ravenna, and Paolo Malatesta, third son of Malatesta da Verruccio, Lord of Rimini. Around 1275, the aristocratic Francesca was married for political reasons to Giancotto, the physically deformed second son of Malatesta da Verruccio. In time, a love affair developed between Francesca and Giancotto's younger brother, Paolo. One day, the betrayed husband discovered them in an amorous embrace and slew them both.
Oh, it's a true crime. Yay! I knew my special
In
interest
times
will pop
of
up.
arranged marriages, I don't agree with cheating, but if your marriage was arranged and you're unhappy in it, is that really cheating, or are you just being like, look, I don't want anything to do with this guy. I want his brother. And for that, they're in hell. I mean, where's their murderer? Is he also in hell?
Probably. Okay.
So, Chaco was a contemporary of Dante's Inferno. Dante Alighieri.
Dante's Inferno has contemporaries called Has-Been Hotel. No. Basically, people don't really know who this guy was. They think he was possibly Chaco del Anguilla? I don't know how the Italians do double L's. I really should, but I don't. The French usually pronounce it like a Y.
So do the Spanish. And
So
yet, this could probably be the one time they're different. But he is also a poet.
Yay! A rival.
Importantly, it might not be his name. It could just be a slur. It's a derogatory Italian word for pig.
Oh no.
Or a swinish nature. You know, pigs have a bad rap.
They do.
Pigs are not bad creatures. They just exist and are pig-like. I can think of worst people.
They do
and creatures.
Cover themselves in mud to cool off.
I think it's really interesting that Minos' tail has all the circles of the ring you go to. Like, you get a hug from this tail, and then it's like, 2 tails, you get to stay here and be a road. 3 tails, you're next level down. 4 tails. We'll get there, I guess.
We will.
So, if you're interested in supporting this channel, you can find our Patreon at patreon.com/laughinggoblins. And we have yet to figure out our update schedule.
Yes, sorry.
Join us next time, whenever that may be.
I'm Bonbon. You can find me on Instagram at blank Esquire.
And I'm Holly. You can find me at Holly Dermatoy. We'll see you next time.
Bye!